now?
Okay, present. Last guy here presents.
Oh, it's driving person.
Stand over here, buddy. Swap.
He's right in front of the TV there, he's
Yeah,
good.
I'm blind.
There you go, Marshall.
Just make some more room.
Hi guys, good afternoon. So, yesterday, what did everybody think of the huddle?
The side loaders.
Good.
It's good, fun.
A little more interactive?
Yeah, we talked about it. We
Anybody take anything away?
Well,
I think we got cheated.
Besides getting cheated?
429, not 430.
What did everybody take away yesterday?
It was a good refresher.
It was. And also, on the questions that you guys didn't get, did you guys take anything away from those ones?
Well, the answer.
Okay.
The answer.
Yep.
And what else?
But we lost points. I have no idea.
Get familiar.
Learned of it.
Maybe some areas that we can improve on. Right, we can talk about TTM. You know, there's some language barrier. Maybe some of the way I worded the questions, I can word them a little better as well for the next one. So win from yesterday. Who's got one?
You just tie rod?
Yep.
It's in there.
I would take that one. That was
That's huge.
you know, that was 378, right? Big safety catch there, right? That's a huge win from a standpoint of putting the safe vehicle out on the road. So good job on that one. Today we're going to go over two things: the MSDO new certification process and criteria, just so you guys have an understanding of the new certification process. So just this is what was sent out to all the managers coming from the corporate team. Effective July, new MSDO certification criteria will go into effect, and the new MSDO scorecard will be released. The new certification criteria uses a stepped approach, allowing locations to reach certification at a bronze level, and then continue to grow and improve to silver, and ultimately the end goal is a gold certification level. The new MSDO certification criteria focuses on processes improvements that have reduced downtime and that ultimately result in decreased maintenance costs. So the new certification process, they were looking for some feedback. Ultimately, there's 3 levels: bronze, silver, and gold. So currently we are residing at a bronze level under the metrics as effective this week. So bronze measures PM efficiency at least at 92% and a PM quality of at least 35, and then our unit availability at least 98%, downtime of 1.7 hours per route, or 25% year-over-year improvement. So if I were to ask you guys right now, who's happy at a bronze level?
Considering we were at nothing, it's a step in the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction. Who wants to improve?
Always go for the gold. That's what they say.
Go for the gold. I'm in agreement. If we stay in the positive trend that we're on, or the positive consistency that we're on, and improve on our PM efficiency, and we talked about our costs today with Randy. You know, we are very easily getting to the next silver rating, and there's some work to do to get to the gold. Some of the practices that we have to hone in on, and just make sure that we're consistent. So silver gets into a higher PM efficiency of 95 and a higher PM quality of 40. Anybody want to take a guess at what our PM quality was last week? You got the guess on what you guys did?
PM quality?
95?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Around 95?
95 was our, 96 was our PM compliance, but the quality portion.
35? Like 38.
So for the first time in a long time, we hit over 50%. right? So the repairs you guys are doing after your PMs are really paying off, okay? So we get into unit availability and downtime of a 1.5 or better, and then in the silver rating, we tie into the costs. So at a bronze level, cost doesn't come into play. At a silver rating, it does, with a 2.5% year-over-year improvement or our area goals. A gold level, 98% or better on our PM efficiency, PM quality of at least 45%, 98% on unit availability that doesn't change, and a 1 hour or better on the downtime. And then our cost stays the same, meeting or exceeding. Any questions on that?
What's the NCPH stand for?
Maintenance cost per hour,
Okay.
and they're also looking, there's some areas already doing a maintenance cost per unit. Cost per unit is more of an operation term that Declan's very familiar with. We're still using the maintenance cost per hour. But eventually, I think we will all be on the cost per unit, so it actually breaks down the units instead of a general hourly rate.
What's the cost per hour that you have to?
Our target,
Yeah, what's the target for?
our target for our area goal for Wentworth is 1167.
What are we at?
We're a little over 12 right now. We are better year over year, but we're a little bit over 12 right now. So we got a
What's
little,
keeping us from silver?
right now, our PM efficiency and our PM quality. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So, our metrics. For last week, being the top one. What do you guys see? What stands out to you?
PM efficiency was pretty good.
Yep. So you see the week before that, it took a dip. And you guys know what that dip was from?
Maybe from the long weekend. Does that tie in?
Long weekend was yeah, it could tie into the long weekend. We're still playing catch up.
Right, because you're playing catch up because it's 1 week ahead of
Yep.
that.
So
Those
what
numbers
else were
come
we,
out.
what were we running last week? Do we have spares?
Oh, no, we didn't have spares.
No. So we missed an opportunity with running more trucks, with the trucks that we had down, like 94, to do more PMs during the day, right? What else stands out?
Downtime hours,
Yeah, what about it?
I'm sitting at 0.65.
For CSI,
Yeah.
and then the downtime
And
hours
then
per route?
Downtime hours per route is pretty good.
Probably,
That's
that's probably the best week we've had.
way beyond our target goal.
It is. What do you think drives the downtime hours per route?
I'm here.
That was last week, guys.
No, last week was up.
So this, we're talking about last week.
Oh,
Sorry. What do you think drives that? What do you think helps us get that number down?
doing the repairs from PM and getting ready before it goes up. Or maybe even this drive lane, this inspection lane, may help. You might find certain issues that you won't pitch anymore.
Yep. What else did we roll out last week that you guys are doing after you're done the truck? Phil, what's that?
Walk around.
That Phil Nelson. What do you remember what we named it? Anybody?
Check the truck before you're working on it, when you, anything pulled into you there or anything.
So park a truck at 100, we called it.
There you go.
So we have a little checklist and we get you up to speed on that we do a little 5, 7, 8 minute check after you're done the repair you're on, tires, lubes, hydraulics. Similar to what we rolled out when we had the rebuild shop, little checklist. And making sure we're parking the truck at 100%.
You can even see the number of jobs completed by DVIR throughout the past, 4 weeks there?
Yep,
It's, going down. It's a downward trend there.
yep. What do you think drives that, what do you think's driving that number down?
We're catching a lot of the stuff and fixing stuff on time so the drivers don't have to write it up. And, you know, as long as we keep on that, then keep doing scheduled jobs. And then essentially it's gonna reduce downtime.
You're absolutely right. Good. Anything else, guys?
But these flat tires and stuff that we're having like during the day, wouldn't that be like fleet break? That they're running over, or is that still hit you on the maintenance cost?
It's still a hit.
Downtime
If
and-
we deem it a fleet pride, then we'll discuss that with the operations and see if we get those costs back. So what stands out to me, and looking at the, we'll scroll down. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, fix mine. On the PM efficiency, you see the dip. And then off our 13-week, this solid blue line, that's the trend line. So which way is it trending? Up. So that's positive. Our PM quality, trend line's trending up. CSIs between PMs. We saw some consistency here, and then we had a very big peak here. What do you think that peak means? More CSIs, right? More downtime? So last week, this column here, we had 0.5. It's the lowest we've hit in the last 13 weeks. What do you think is contributing to that?
Catching all the stuff on the PM.
Which relates back to what? If we're catching everything on the PMs, we're not getting what?
Breakdown.
Breakdowns, downtime events. So it's a correlation between the two.
Where does that spike though? How does that relate to, does it relate to anything back on the board?
Which was spiked
The
up.
CSI between PMs? Is it,
So one thing we've noticed, and if you look at this trend here, our downtime hours, we see a trend. And we were discussing this today, almost every 4 weeks we see a spike. We're trying to figure out what that spike is and how it's related. So every 4 weeks we see a big spike in downtime. Number of events, number of hours. We're trying to figure out any ideas, because I don't have the answer. Anything that could relate to maybe a downtime spike every month?
Did you do analysis to see what caused that, what the down trucks were, the root causes of them for that week?
No.
could be the PM efficiency not being at target and you're not doing as many PMs, so you're not catching those problems that you'd normally catch, which is gonna result in a higher downtime, you know?
Yeah, that could be a huge contributor.
Until you figure out, I would run the downtime report, find out what all the downtime, it could be just a spike in tires that week.
Yeah.
Could be a spike in whatever, but something you should look at is the root cause of it. Run the downtime report and see what all those downtimes were.
We have seen the trend, like Marshall said, in the PM
Yeah.
efficiency and quality. If our quality dips and our efficiency dips, our downtime will go up, right? Because if we're not catching the stuff, like Marshall said, on the PMs, it's more opportunity for stuff to happen on the road, right?
There could be more catastrophic failures where you're gonna get them towed, and so the downtime's still running. And
Yep.
so, barring, I guess, depending on what the downtime is, like if we go out and repair small, depending on what it is, maybe the downtime's less, but if they're more catastrophic where it's gotta be towed, gotta be this, so the driver's waiting, this is waiting.
So the odd time where we get like a 3-hour downtime event, yeah,
Are
those were
they
the,
on the spikes where that, like you had one, you have to wait to get towed and this.
that's stuff to look into, right? And I can get that information and get back to you. Downtime in the yard, we're trending upwards, so we're having more events in the morning. So what's one thing that we can do to avoid more events in the morning?
You know, I'm trying to find stuff in the evening, and make sure we write that up so that we can try and fix it.
So we're gonna try to get more of you guys into the PTO process as well. As we're rolling it out and we're getting more drivers through, get more eyes on the truck. Right, the more eyes on the truck, the better, right?
Yeah. And with the new process rolled out as well,
Yep.
I catch stuff before the morning hits.
Positive trend on the schedule, even though we see the dip here, positive trend on scheduled work. So if DVRs are coming down, gives us more of an opportunity to do what?
Backlog.
Backlog. So, any questions on any of this stuff, guys? So think about tonight, some ways that we can touch the truck more. We see a spike Monday mornings on our downtime, door traffics, DVRs. We always see a spike on Monday on those things. So think about tonight, and then tomorrow we'll throw around some ideas on how we can work together, put a plan in place to get those, the flatness. Avoid those spikes on Monday and get a steady trend throughout the week. Okay, because you'll see Friday, last week and 2 weeks ago, 8 and 4, 20 and 17. Right? 4 and 2, 5 and 4. There's a spike. Okay, guys?
Yep.
Perfect. For scheduled work tonight, guys, I gotta get some DVRs up front. If Marshall, you can grab them. Marvel's off tonight, so I'm gonna be sticking around for a bit and getting you guys set up. So take 10 minutes, let's clean the shop. I know that Brent and Guido and Matthew's got work. James and Marshall will get you set up, okay? Alright, thanks guys.